As a parent, when you need a car seat for your baby or your toddler, you walk into a baby shop and there's an entire wall of car seats, and it is absolutely overwhelming and completely daunting, and you don't know what to do, and there's a flock of salespeople descending upon you, all giving you ideas about which car seat you need to buy, and you feel like running away. But please don't. Here is what you do. So when you start your car seat journey, you start with the infant seat. When we did a section on infant seats, go to that video and check that out, because that is also when your child is most vulnerable. Again, we spoke about the vulnerability of our children. Go and have a look at that video as well. So when you start your car seat journey, use the infant seat. That is the little bucket seat with a handle, the Snug and Safe seat. Then at 6 months, you will notice that your child will be more aware of what is going on around them. They can sit up strong at this stage. At that stage, your child starts to interact with their world, and they want to see everything that is going on around them. And we found that at 6 months, children strain up in their infant seats because of the flatter angle. It is not because they want to be forward facing, they just want to see better. So at 6 months is the next point where you make a decision. If your child is happy in the infant seat, leave them there. If your child is straining up, wants to see more, wants to interact more, then get yourself a multi-stage seat that can still rear face to 15 months. Those seats are generally a bit more upright, and your child can interact with everybody in the vehicle. Why we say that buy an infant seat for your child at birth is because you don't know your child yet. You need to get to know your baby, and every baby is different. But at 6 months, you already know what your child's personality is, how they behave, but more importantly, on your clinic card, which is basically your Road to Health clinic card, with a clinic note weighs your child and makes a mark and follows a line, this is exactly that. And what we have done is we have put the different stages of car seats on top of that card. So at birth, you start out here, these lines are closely together. But when you get to 6 months here, you see those lines are starting to diverge. So if your child is on the 50th percentile, you know that your child will always fit in a car seat, because car seats are designed around children of more or less the 85th percentile, so that your child can stay in a car seat for a group of car seat for as long as possible. So if your child at 6 months show that they are likely going to be a big baby, and we do make big babies here in South Africa. You need to sit, you look at Argie's name, I mean, he is huge. Then you are likely to purchase a seat that can harness beyond 18 kilograms so that your child can stay in a harness till they are 4. So basically, to sum it up, what I am saying here is, first 6 months infant seat, that is what you use, that is best. Then at 6 months, you make that decision. And because you can now project your child's weight forward, you can see whether you're going to need a car seat that harnesses to 25 kilos or to 18 kilos. And that way, it helps you to make the right choices. Because if you're going to buy just any old seat and you have one of those big tall babies, they are going to outgrow that toddler seat in weight before they are ready to transition to the next seat in age. So you always have to consider age, weight, height. Because our children are three-dimensional little beings of all shapes and sizes, we have to consider all of that when we purchase a car seat. So at 6 months, child is training to sit up, get your multi-stage seat. The next point where you're going to make decisions is at 15 months. 15 months is the absolute hard limit that you have to rear face to. No questions, no ifs, no buts, rear face absolutely till 15 months. After that, rear facing is a choice. So this hard line on our copy that we have adjusted, this is 15 months. So up to 15 months, rear face, no option. After 15 months, you can rear face for longer if you want to. So what does rear face depend on? It first of all depends on the budget that you have. Extended rear facing seats are more expensive than your average rear facing seat. Then do you have the space in your vehicle to install this seat? And this is where you, when you purchase the seat, you must extend it at its full height in its configuration to see how much space it's going to take up. And then make sure you have that amount of space available in your vehicle. And then also your lifestyle, you know, is it the type of seat that you need to take in and out, all of that kind of things. After 15 months, next point of decision will be at 4 years, which is this line here. And for our average child, they will reach 4 years more or less here at about 17 kilos, which is still well within the buckle limit for a toddler seat. And then, so at 4 years, you can make your decisions. Is your child 18 kilos? Yes, booster seat. Not 4 years, not yet. 18 kilos, keep them in the toddler seat a little bit longer. It gives your child more protection. Then after 4 years, you can keep your child in a harness by choice. So up till 4 years, harnessed, absolute must. After 4 years, it is by choice. And then of course, after 4, your child is in a booster seat, and that they will use until they are 1.5 meters tall, and we'll do the 5-point test in a separate video for you. So those are basically the points where you make decisions at. You always consider your budget, how much space have you got available, how long do you rear face, how long will you be able to harness your child. Ask yourself these questions every time when you reach a milestone that you need to make decisions, and that narrows it down to a few options of car seat. So when you consider to purchase a car seat, it's very important to know whether you're going to use a ISOFIX installation or a seatbelt installation for your car seat. If your vehicle has ISOFIX, it will be indicated on the back passenger seat where the backrest and the seat meet. There will either be a little label or a round button with the ISOFIX indicator on that. If it doesn't have that, feel in between the seats there. The bracket might be hidden for you there. But if you don't have ISOFIX, then you have to have a seatbelt installed car seat. So it's very important that you know these things. ISOFIX, easier to install, eliminates risk in incorrect installation. Seatbelt car installations, equally safe as long as you do it correctly. We also have a video where we discuss the difference between a seatbelt installation and an ISOFIX installation, and you can go and have a look at that video to see more on the difference between those types of installations. Another thing to consider when purchasing a car seat is, are you going to get a car seat that you have to physically turn from rear facing to forward facing, or are you going to get a seat that can rotate? It's very important when you look at seats with a rotation function that you buy a good quality seat. Every moving bit in engineering gives you an opportunity for weakness and for something that can go wrong. So you need to make sure that that rotator mechanism must feel sturdy. If it at all feels wonky when you try out the seat in the showroom, don't use it. Now, the benefit of a rotation seat is obviously you have one installation method, and you can turn the seat forwards or rear facing as you are going to use it. But the added benefit is that you can turn that seat towards you when you take your child out of the seat and put them back in. Urgent warning though, never drive with that car seat facing sideways. That seat is not designed to be used like that in a moving vehicle. It needs to be either rear facing or forward facing. So I have seen moms who think, oh, I can just turn the seat sideways a bit and I can feed my child while we're driving. No, don't do that. Rather feed your child when you pull off at a petrol station when it is safe to do so. Thank you for watching. If you have a car seat your child has outgrown, consider donating it at your nearest SuperQuick. Together with Wheelwell, we can help protect children and save lives. For more information, visit superquick.com or wheelwell.co.za.
www.car-care.co.za.